What is it like to stay at a hotel during the COVID-19 pandemic? This is something that I have been wondering, and I decided to book myself a little getaway to experience that. And by getaway, I mean I am literally 20 minutes away from my apartment right now here in New York. I am at JFK Airport at the iconic TWA Hotel, and I'm really here to check out the procedures and protocols that are in place during these trying times. How comfortable do I feel here? How clean does it seem? Would I do it again? So these are questions I'm hoping to address, and I'm bringing you guys along with me, so I figured we can go check it out.
The TWA Hotel is a dream destination for many aviation enthusiasts as it brings back to life the nostalgia of the 1960s jet age in its restoration of the original TWA Flight Center. Since its debut as a hotel in 2019, I have been itching to book a stay and saw this worldwide lull in travel as the perfect opportunity. More importantly, I was curious to see what it would be like to stay at one of the busiest international airports in the United States while air travel was at an unprecedented all-time low. Needless to say, it was a bit of a ghost town. As a New Yorker, having bunkered down for months as the coronavirus pandemic ravaged the city, I could not be more impressed with our slow, steady, and successful phased reopening strategy in this state. With this, however, has come expectations. I'm used to mandatory masking, hand sanitizing, physically distancing, sporadic temperature screenings, and contact tracing forms. These things bring me comfort knowing that I am doing my best to stay safe and the people and places around me are doing the same. It is with this lens that I observe the TWA Hotel. As a former airline terminal, the lobby of the hotel is gigantic and lent itself seamlessly to a socially distant environment. If it were not for the 3 people checking in ahead of me, I would have thought the place to be abandoned. I skipped the short wait and opted for self-check-in on a touchscreen. No prompts to enter recent travel info, surprising given I was at an airport, and no wipes to clean the device. There was, however, a nearby manual pump hand sanitizing station. While certainly not necessary, I was caught off guard by the lack of hospitality. No hotel ambassador greeting guests, and barely an acknowledgement from the masked front desk staff who remained safely behind plexiglass. In a time when I imagine many people are weary of traveling, I anticipated the hotel to really strive to make people feel comfortable, reassured, and welcome, but instead I felt kind of distant and intrusive. Despite this, I was eager to check out my runway view room. What a view! The room itself was lovely and appeared to be minimally impacted by any coronavirus precautions. The only thing I noticed absent from the room was a stocked minibar, but I never indulge in those things anyway. And perhaps a bit over-observant, I found myself wondering when was the last time this remote was cleaned and how many lips may have touched these wine glasses. These thoughts didn't stop me, of course, from playing with the rotary phone because why not? And then promptly washing my hands. Discreetly left on the table was a 3-page document of the hotel's coronavirus cleaning procedures and policies, from high-heat wash cycles of linens to full room deep cleaning between guests. I appreciated this even if it looked like 100 other people already touched this piece of paper. Their transparency was a relief, and it was actually something I knew about ahead of my stay since they posted it on their website. With masks required in all public spaces, I geared up and headed out to find dinner. The hallways were quiet, and I came across a single social distancing marker by the elevators. A nearby hand sanitizing station merely alluded to the idea of Purell without any of the perk. As I traversed the lobby, signs detailed the various closures, including most of the restaurants on the property, the fitness center, and the TWA shop. Government regulations still restricted many establishments from exceeding certain occupancy thresholds due to distancing measures at the time of this filming. This was not a surprise to me, and I respected their adherence to the rules. 2 options for food included the food court and the rooftop pool, which came with a flashy $50 cover charge and necessary reservation in order to limit the capacity. This footage was shot the next morning when it was free for hotel guests between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Clearly, I went to the food court for dinner. While I waited for my meal, I couldn't help myself but wonder how often the tables were cleaned. I didn't see a single employee wiping tables and noticed guests coming and going from previously used seats. Again, to me, this might be more of a reassurance thing, but I was hoping for a bit more of a show in the efforts that a hotel might go to make guests feel safe. It may have been happening behind the scenes, but to see it out in the open would have made me feel more relaxed with the overall experience. Thankfully, I did pass one employee, the only one I'd see during my entire 24-hour stay, cleaning a table near the infamous sunken lounge as I made my way outside to eat.
This is actually pretty cool because I am out here all by myself. And I decided to dine under an airplane.
After enjoying my dinner beside the Lockheed Constellation, it was time for me to head back to the room. Not unexpected, there was nothing else to do. Everything was closed. I wasn't disappointed because I had anticipated this, but I did find myself wondering why there really wasn't a reduced room rate offered while the hotel operated in such limited capacity. Perhaps the constant rotation of flight crews in and out of the hotel maintained demand, even if tourism was basically null. The good news is that it wasn't hard to book a room with a view. As I cleaned up and tucked in for the night, I realized that this is the truth. We're all figuring out ways to navigate this new world. Maybe I wasn't fully ready to stay somewhere outside of the comfort of my own home, or maybe the hotel was struggling with limited staff and cleaning supplies. I appreciated the pamphlets and the signs detailing the protocols, but as a visual learner, it would have reassured me to observe those measures in person. In a non-pandemic world, I would have trusted the system, but now I'm almost too aware of my surroundings. Would I stay here again? Absolutely. Would I maybe wait until the world is a safer place? I think so.